hello everyone and welcome back. So we are here for episode 20 of Raiders of the Serpent Sea, our second episode in Pathfinder. We're at Drifthall. We've got every player tonight, so we will continue on. I will run the opening monologue and then we'll start. Previously on Raiders of the Serpent Seas. Amid the frost-laden waves of the Serpent Sea, our intrepid band of adventurers found themselves at the heart of unfolding mysteries and ancient prophecies at the Drifthall, a floating conclave of the world's fiercest raider clans. The session began with a tense encounter with a young sea serpent trying to capture the crew's ward, Savoie, a harrowing reminder of the perils lurking in these waters. Through skill and might, the creature was repelled, safeguarding Savoie and their ship. The group's journey then led them to Drifthall, where Frida, a paladin of Thornir, assumed her role as a liaison between the Volve, the mystical seers, and the various clans gathered. The Volve, wise yet troubled by foreboding visions, revealed startling truths. Each adventure was confronted by their own destiny. Frida needs to follow up on her ties to the Bendor and investigate a mysterious shrine to her mother. Baldor's vision suggests need for more knowledge over hasty action. Hodor remains a perplexing enigma to the Volve. Rauda must now seek the skull that cursed her in the halls of the slain, and Zeus's fall from grace as a Valkyrie needs to be explored further. We also gained a better understanding of other key revelations. The appearance of the tower at Kekel connected to the Rainbow Spear and Murgle. The Rainbow Spear, an artifact with the ability to travel between worlds. The manipulation of the clans by dark forces, which implicates the Lutan clan in treacherous activities. And the unsettling emergence of the undead and the malevolent influence of the Ironwood. Our heroes were tasked with navigating the treacherous waters of clan politics to prevent increased tensions causing problems at the upcoming clan gathering. With the Drifthall teetering on the brink of chaos, the adventurers' decisions and allegiances could tip the balance of the power and shape the course of upcoming events. The session concluded with the Volve requesting the company of the child Savoie, whose nature might hold keys to greater mysteries. As the adventurers prepare for the challenges ahead and the looming assembly, and the shadow of Ragnarok stirring in the air, what will the next chapter hold for our heroes? Will they unravel the tangled web of deception and confront the lurking threats? It's time to find out. Okay, right everyone, so we are back and we are here at Drifthall. You guys have moments ago just finished your meeting with the Volve where you went through all of your general knowledge of the situation that's been going on your travels, and they did have a little bit of extra info to sort of suggest courses of actions for yourselves. They also did say take this time to explore Drifthall a little bit and try and work on a few of the things that are going on within Drifthall and see if you can work out any ways to improve or change the situations. I do understand there's a few things on the list that would be sort of key things to be thinking about at this point. Obviously, one of the big ones being what you're going to do with the Lutan clan. The Halharn clan are suggesting some odd things with the idea of these games or challenges that are going to be happening at the end of the gathering. And there are just general places to have a look around and other people to catch up with. The Orn, the Whar. There's many a thing. But as a group, is there any sort of key things you want to start with or go from here, if that makes sense?
Are we outside the Volve Helmskip?
Absolutely. You are literally on the outskirts of the Helmskip. The only one of the Volve that is still with you is obviously, well, barring Frida as her guard, Faircat, the Dragonborn woman, is still with you. She is still sort of following you guys around at this point. And yeah, just seeing how you generally are doing, and if you need anything, she will be able to facilitate, if that makes sense. But if you need quiet words as a group, this is probably your best time, if that makes sense.
Can I talk to Zisa?
she is there, absolutely.
So, you are a Valkyrie after all.
It would seem I was, or at least the Volve seems to think so. What I am now is whatever the absence of purpose and divinity is.
Well, as it was before, you always have the help of my quite sizable skill in combat and outside. At your discretion, please. Thank you.
As you say.
An awkward pause.
That was all. Can you do your magic seeing I see corruption in people thingy?
That is not what it is called, but yes.
I mean, I am no scholar in terms of the arcane. It is one of my few weaknesses, as you know. But would you be willing to use that if me and my brother go to visit our clan ship, so that we might know if the rest of our clan has not undergone a similar fate as the ones that we met on the volcano island? I forgot the name of the place, but
That's okay, yeah. It was the island of Felagar, and yeah, it was the home of the Orn that, has been vastly decimated down to, basically down to 2 ships worth of people, is the honest truth. When you guys sailed in, there was 1 ship here, and you came in with the second one, and so, yeah, there are not many Orn left from what would be going on. That may well have an effect on the clan meetings as well, but... yeah, that's still to play out. Lutan are here in number. Yeah, definitely.
So you're willing to come or not?
It would be prudent to know who is and is not afflicted with the thorns of the Ironwood tree. And as your clan has shown that they have been targeted as such, it would be wise to know if any of their number are under the influence. So yes, I will accompany you and Hodor to your clan ship and see if there are any that are numbered among the enemy.
Thank you, my lady Valkyrie.
I am not a Valkyrie. At least not anymore.
So yes, sort of waiting, sort of semi-patiently, and sort of listening to some of this. Faircat is kind of just taking it all in slowly but surely, and is trying to sort of subtly sort of suggest. So is this going to be your choice for what you want to do first, as you're here in Drifthall? I do
Zisa
not know
will turn
how well he
to,
will deal with it, but. The Jarl will have to listen to whatever this group of chosen would have to say.
Yeah, Zisa would turn to, oh my god, we haven't played in so long. Yeah. One-eyed guy, help me.
Harolf, Harolf.
Holy crap.
That's
wow.
All right, don't worry. We've had the whole Christmas break, so I do fully get it.
She would turn to Harolf and say, what do you believe is most pressing?
Well, yes, I mean, our knowledge of what's gone on with the Lutan clan is certainly high on the list. I think finding out what's going on with our Jarl will be important as well. It sounds like she may have gone even more crazy in the time we've been gone from the clan, if she's making the ideas for everybody's got to go for these sort of sacrifices in tournament, but she was always headstrong, Mother Gumbarg. You can see he's shuffling awkwardly at that one, Zisa. There's clearly you would be aware that there's at least history between those two. He doesn't talk of it much, but yes, there's certainly, they certainly don't. They aren't eye to eye on some of that. We also obviously should probably pay our respects to the Orn. I don't know if going directly to them over going to see the Lutan clan would be wise, but maybe we should just confront the Lutan clan and be done with it. They will need to prepare. We have prisoners, we have some proof of what has gone on, but they're bound to not be able to save face completely in something like this.
About that, if they turn out to be free of corruption, we are just returning them to the clan, right? Our quote-unquote guests on the ship.
Personally, I think they need to be judged by the gathering themselves, I guess. But the Jarl and the Lutan clan will be able to say their piece. We will be able to say our piece. If the group decide that they are to live, then they will live. If the vote goes the other way, then there may be more trouble. There could be sanctions against the Lutan.
I don't know how I feel about this. They are still my clansmen in some way, I guess.
Indeed.
Hodor, what do you think?
I don't like the idea that the actions of what is perhaps only a few of the Lutan affect the entirety of the Lutan. So I'm nervous about that as well.
The clans are always suspicious of each other, some more than others. People like the Nattle will use any chance they get to bring the Lutan clan down a peg or two. It's politics more than proof on some of this, I imagine. But we can state the case well, I think. As long as the prisoners will be honest and truthful, which I don't see why they would not.
Do I know, or at least does Boulder as well know, whether or not which clans specifically have historical beef with Lutan? So if when this kind of happens, who's most likely to judge us poorly, the Lutan poorly?
Yes, no, fair enough. Generally, I believe it's the Lutan. Halharn and Lutan tend to go together relatively well on most things. Savoie and Nattle would normally be the ones that would be heavier against the Lutan clan. The Whar is a completely new thing in this whole regard, so yeah, we can't really say, but you could definitely go Nattle and Tavar would probably be ones that would push in that sort of circumstance. That certainly would be common knowledge, if that makes sense. So yes, so is that going to be your first stop, or do you guys think you're going to try and acquire other info first? Are you going to take your prisoners there direct? Are you going to hold them back and wait for the gathering on that? All these are options that you have to bear in mind.
Frida would agree with her. She wants them to be brought up in the whole clan meeting for their punishment, not just take them to their clan.
It gives the Lutan less time to prepare, and it also means that they are fresh for their interviews at that point. So there are definitely benefits that way around. That is definitely true. It's just whether or not, you want to give a heads up to the Lutan or not, I guess, in that way, or not is the question. So it's sounding like, unless others have got strong positions the other way, you'll probably keep the prisoners until the gathering on that will be tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, as far as this goes, then are we all heading to the Lutan first? Does that seem like the reasonable first step, or do you want to investigate other things that are closer and nearby before you make that choice? Either or are completely doable. Lutan are not far.
I think it would be best to do the Lutan because we need to do like the pat down essentially.
Yeah, we need to do damage control too.
Yeah, we need to make because there's no point
and
in
afterwards,
us and then they come at us.
Yeah, afterwards we can do more political maneuvering, but I think we sort of need to know what happens there first.
No
Magic
problem.
first, then politics.
No problem. Okay, so yeah, easily done. You guys can make your way towards the Lutan clan. That is easily done. They are the nearest clan as this is all going on. I'm just gonna bring you guys through to the main map as far as this is going on. There is a bunch of sort of normal little ships that are normal sort of helm skips and things like that are around, and then there is one vastly larger ship that comes up a bit further off as you come. A giant sort of head of a creature on the front of the ship as you sort of. It's an incredibly imposing sort of design as you are moving closer towards the clan boat. As this is going on, I'll just bring your tokens back out. Can everybody see the scene okay on that front?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yep. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
As you're sort of milling about and sort of moving between different places here and having a look at some of this, Hodor and Baldur, this is kind of normal for you guys. There's vastly more Dragonborn than anything else as you're sort of looking around. There is a hell of a lot of Dragonborn in your clan compared to others, if this makes sense. But yeah, the Jarl's main boat is up ahead as you guys sort of are coming sort of closer. There's sort of like the helm skip has got like a carved Wolverine head on the front of it, so it's like a giant mouth of a Wolverine on the front. And the corner posts are kind of made into sort of like clawed legs, and sort of it's all a snarling Wolverine and bits and bobs on that one. But yeah, the clan leader and the rest, as you guys kind of sort of make your way closer to the start of the actual ship, you're sort of first of all, one Dragonborn sort of makes his way down and says,
Greetings. We were expecting some of the chosen.
he sort of nods towards a couple of you and gives a few of the others a little bit more disdain as this is going on.
Why have you come?
Frida just pushes Baldur and Hodor in front.
And pushes the two Lutan clan members forward as this is going on.
Baldur Serpent Thrower, it's good to be among clan again.
Yes, it has been a long time.
And he sort of, you don't know if he recognizes you or not, but he recognizes that you're Lutan at least on that front.
And you come with many and Volve as well.
And he sort of gives a sort of a nod to Faircat, and it becomes obvious that Faircat is a Lutan clan member, second, if we shall we say, originally, before she was made into the Volve, as all of this is happening on that one.
So you seek business with the Jarl? Volve business?
We have important things to discuss with him regarding the clan itself.
Very well. Follow.
And so he starts to bring you up to a sort of a waiting area outside of a sort of a main hall area. I'll bring you guys over to the space. There are a bunch more Dragonborn sort of hanging around the space as this is sort of a waiting room. But yes, go ahead.
As we're walking through, Hodor will look to Caesar and just sort of like check him out essentially with the magic.
So this will cast detect magic.
Okay, fair enough.
See if there are any, because at this level, because it's a third cantrip, I learn the rank or level of the most powerful magical effect and spell detected. The spell detects. So I'll learn if anybody's under the effects of a spell, and the most powerful one, I guess I will be able to pinpoint or something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As this is going on, nothing happens in the moments in the general area around you. However, you do get quite a big ping of some sort of magical thing on the other side of the door. I'll give you that as a kind of a hint that there is more going on. But you believe it would be something to do with a magical weapon or two. Is probably the honest truth as a start point.
Okay. I will message Hodor and just say, no ironwood, though behind those doors there seem to be some powerful weapons that belong to your clan.
Hodor will just nod to kind of show that he's heard.
Fair enough. The Dragonborn that has been sort of bringing you guys along will disappear into the room beyond for a few moments. You're left waiting. Slightly more uncomfortable length of time than you probably would want. 5-10 minutes start to pass.
Is this common? Is this like a thing that like the leaders of Lutan do, where they just kind of let us fester? Like show them. Imagine we have no power.
I think you can make some sort of an insight check on that. I think, but let's have a look. Let's see what skill might be of interest in this case. You could do a society check, I guess, is one way of doing it. Is another way of having a quick go.
Oh, subset society.
Just see how it goes from that one. 21. Okay, yeah. So not bad on that front at all on that one. So yeah, basically, you think this is more of a show of power than anything. Just make important people feel less important might be one way of doing it. But yeah, it's a power play. It's probably the best way of.
What are the rest of these guys doing here in the meantime while we are waiting?
Absolutely. Some of them have been playing games. You watched sort of 5 minutes in, you watched a couple of them start to just duel, like practice dueling. So they sort of went off to one side and started sort of just practicing, making sure certain things are good. They look like they're preparing themselves for combat, basically, in that respect of practicing on that front. And they're just discussing, that they both have gotten stronger over the days. And they're looking forward to how things are going to play out.
Can I sort of nudge shoulder?
Yeah, I'm nudged.
Remember when our parents made us do that? That was fun.
I think you and I have very different ideas of what was fun in our childhood.
Fair enough. After a couple,
He's doing that like slouch and like with his like long gross nails, he's kind of just like tapping on the table to like show a level of impatience to kind of understand that I know what game you're playing. Stop wasting our time.
Fair
kind
enough.
of thing.
Fair enough. So the awkward 10 minutes sort of does pass. The Dragonborn does come back out, and he says, "The Jarl will see you now," and sort of nods and sort of points you in the right direction.
James, it's only something small, but could I have asked the
You definitely had some time there
to give me some sort of because I obviously have new armor and everything, some sort of symbolism that I am part of the Volve?
Absolutely, yeah. So you would have been able to get probably off of Fearcat. You would have been able to get a just one of the sort of emblem badges that goes on the top of a cloak or in a top corner. It's small, but usually enough, if that makes sense. on that one. It definitely denotes you as what you are, if that makes sense. People are aware of what you are. But yeah, you guys can make your way into the main room as this is sort of happening. Baldur and Hodor, you would recognize the Jarl. You may have been in his presence once, twice, maybe in your younger years. He wasn't the Jarl then, but you certainly would have. You would certainly recognize him as you start making your way into the room. He's a fairly impressive-looking man, slightly older, but yeah, he seems to be slouching on a very large, overdone sort of seating area, shall we say, and sort of looking relatively relaxed as you guys are coming in, trying to look fairly disinterested as you initially sort of make your way in. He does sort of, his eyes do go a little wide as Hodor and Baldur, as you do come in, and his sort of first words are sort of,
so, it is true then, the children of the Dishonored have now come home. You return to your clan, I hope, with not the dishonor of your parents that had been left, but you return to us with better tidings.
Hodor's face is filled with rage because this is also the man that I think Hodor believes had a part in like killing their father.
If your father's apparition is to be believed, yes, is the answer on that one. There is a searing rage in there that may or may not all be yours as this is all going on.
Can I, in maybe an orthodox moment of clarity, sort of take the word and see, like, okay, if Hodor says something now, we might be in trouble. So can Baldur say something in the sense of, well, I have been gone a long time from the clan, as I have had many adventures on many a raiding ship. But we have been sailing under Volve banners for quite some time now. So while you speak of our parents, I have no idea what has transpired in our absence. Those were some big words. I'm very proud of myself.
He nods in the moment and he says, it is true, you return under Volve banners at this point. And I am here for my clan as always. And you are still members of that clan. You are welcome here as much as anyone else. And he sort of nods politely to you both.
I would, however, like to inquire what exactly transpired that dishonored my... What is a less kind word for parents? My progenitors? No, that's not my creators.
Perhaps that is something we should talk of in private at another time. But to say that your family had some interesting dealings would be an understatement. There is nothing, from what I understand from the investigations, that led to the further movements of any of your rest of your family, so none of you are, as far as I'm aware, under any suspicion. But they lost their place.
Whatever transpired, I am sure my mother deserved it.
He sort of smirks at that a tiny bit and just sort of takes that in for a moment on that one. I hope they're doing so well wherever they are now in their lands, their small lands.
Sense motive immediately. This man is like, I hope they're well. And Hodor thinks he killed at least the dad. So.
Fair enough on that one. Yeah. Can you? Do I need to roll against that, or is that something you're rolling here? I can't remember.
I just roll sense motive and.
Then that'll give.
Assume?
Yeah, if you roll that, then I will get the. It'll give me what the skill I need to return. The changes from D&D to Pathfinder. Okay.
That's one of those ones where we don't know how good we do. James does, and has to basically react to us in that way.
That's yeah. So I've seen where you've come in on that front. Are you okay on that one? Yeah. You think that he is he's definitely trying to poke a little bit. That's certainly a thing, and he certainly knows more than he's letting on. You're definitely aware of that much from him. He's giving that off.
Just for effect, to show a level of rage, I would like for like little bits of the wood around Hodor's feet, just for like image to start like rotting. Just as, like, a way of, like,
as they sort of coldly, coldly burn into the ground as that's going on around his feet. Yeah, probably only those close to you would understand how angry he was at this, or they were at this. But yeah, so yeah, you can certainly for a fact there'll be that shot going on. But yeah, he looks at you both and seems happy in especially what Baldur has just said. So. You have business. You come sailing in this morning with an Orn ship, and now you're here on my door.
Well, this is interesting that you brought up dishonor of all things, because the Lutan clan has been acting dishonorably to us under the banner of the Volve. And we don't believe that it was fully with their own mind.
You have
being attacked.
Proof of something that we have done?
Not necessarily knowingly, but has our clan had dealings with Ironwood lately?
He thinks for a moment and there's no more than most clans. We build some ships with some parts of it. It is strong stuff.
What's the name again of the wizard that we?
You got a name of Tandril, I believe, back in the day for that wizard. He was, yes, some sort of disgraced Lutan that was out of favor. But he was also being controlled. You know that pretty well from what Zisa and others have told you, as he literally blew up a volcano and then destroyed the island. But I'm assuming, do you fill him in on that story in relevant detail, if that makes sense? Are you trying to play up the part of the Lutan, or are you trying to play it down? Are you going to say there are survivors? I suppose are the main key things.
I don't think we would mention that we have survivors at this point, because I think at this point, the point of telling him to Hodor at this point is trying to work out whether or not he's part of the whole Ironwood and infecting their mind thing, or if he's completely surprised by this. And he doesn't want him distracted by the idea that we're holding Lutan members away from him. So that wouldn't be mentioned.
Okay, so fair enough. So the way the story would play out is it would be the rogue Lutan wizard. He would have been involved, would have blown up the volcano. It would have been obvious that there are Orn survivors because they would have come back in their ship. But you are keeping it secret that there are any Lutan clan members still alive on that one. So, the Lutan will claim this is of our doing, and the name is at least known to me. He was rogue. He has not been a sanctioned member of our clan for a long time, much like your parents. This will cause problems at the gathering. People will use this against us. Will you be explaining your story as you have told me? Perhaps that will hold some sway during the gathering.
We will tell the story as it happened. with no judgment, only eyewitness account of the events. So others can make their own decision.
And do you all feel the same? And he sort of looks around the group as this is going on. Will all of your renditions of of those events be similar to what these two have told me? Or does anyone have more doubts of what may have happened? And he's kind of looking around to see if anyone's playing the game differently to what Hodor and Baldur are kind of suggesting at the moment. But I'm assuming pretty much people hang firm in these moments.
Yeah, Frida's more. Is there? I don't know if there's a check. Maybe perception. I want to just get a general, because I want to stand by the door to make sure that nothing's coming up the stairs or anything. Just a general vibe. Is there like a lot of hostility towards us? Maybe from like, do they actually know something about what happened on that island and there?
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at this. Then we can definitely. I don't think we can go legend lore. Let's see if we can.
Diplomacy?
Yeah, diplomacy is probably about your best. Society or diplomacy are the two I would say you could go with on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you might be able to pick up politics. Dang. Okay, that is pretty damn good.
I am a diplomatic paladin.
Yeah.
So, diplomatic paladin.
Frida, I think you're picking up more than others that raids between clans are a thing. That is acceptable stuff. If he didn't know that there was something going on at all, you would be surprised by the way he is talking and acting. But there is a very big difference between a raid that goes slightly awry and there was honor in it versus what probably went on with the Ironwood. You're not picking up that he was aware of any deeper plot with that number, if that makes sense. But you're pretty sure the Lutan probably knew that there was things ongoing with the Orn, and whether or not they got pulled in deeper than they expected, they're probably going to get called up on some of that. Especially as you know what they don't, that there are still Lutan survivors, so that their testimony will bear out as time plays out at the gathering.
What's the next thing I wanted to?
It's fine. What about the people outside? Are they just sort of ignoring us, I guess, not really paying attention?
Actually, one of them, he seems to be over here on this side. He is checking each of you out very, very particularly, much more than normal or than what you would expect. He seems to be, looking each of you over very, very, very strongly, if that makes sense. Vastly more intrigued or interested in what's going on than others. But yeah, make of that what you will.
Sorry, which one is doing that?
This one.
Yeah, this Dragonborn that is on the outside here is literally taking you guys in a lot more than a lot of the others, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm out of his eye line then.
You stay out of his eye line.
I from what I can tell, you're clicking outside the door where I cannot see someone, which means he cannot see me directly right now.
Correct. Yeah, he's checking out the ones by the door mainly on that front.
Okay, because Zisa would like to cast Detect Magic, but that is something that can be seen.
Yes.
Doing.
Yeah, I mean, doing it out in the sort of the crowded space was a lot easier to pull off.
Yeah, that's what
in
I
here.
kind of
this is kind of all eyes on. It's honestly up to you how you would wish to play that.
Well, what I would like to do is I have a router in front of me, and hopefully Baldur and Hodor are distracting. Zisa hasn't said a word during all of this, hasn't drawn attention to herself. What she would like to do is avoid notice.
Okay.
Let's see how well you can.
With a 17 isn't super great.
Okay.
So that's what she's doing. She hasn't cast anything yet, but what she will do is I can use magic to use message because that is actually a subtle. It says they're subtle, so it's something I could do without really detection. I'd like to do this to Hodor and just say, I cannot do what needs to be done without some seeing. If permission is granted for that, so be it. Otherwise, I will need eyes drawn elsewhere.
Hodor nods in understanding. I do this without being killed.
Careful, yeah.
I know.
Yes. Not the biggest fans of your family.
No.
What's she gonna do? Or he gonna do? Sorry. Or they gonna do? Sorry.
What are all the pronouns going to do?
Yes, too many pronouns. I'll get the right one on the third attempt. Yes.
Are there any cultural rituals to be done? Like something that like people don't normally do now, but is quite old-fashioned to do with like when you greet the Jarl or something like.
Give me a legend lore. I think something along those lines would be good on that one. But I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to pull off something that would make sense.
Recall knowledge work on that?
You can do it under society, I guess, is the best one then.
Oh.
At the moment, Baldur doesn't know that it's necessary, but I do have this background sheet.
Oh.
Which at some point might.
You can make an impression. Fair enough on that one. It's not the greatest in the world, but it is enough to know. A relatively old one is you just repledge yourself to the Jarl and the clan, basically sort of kissing the ring almost of the hand of the Jarl is definitely one that you know of. It's an old custom, but it is a custom.
Yeah. But would Hodor be willing to sacrifice his entire dignity to do it? Because bowing to the man that he believed murdered his father isn't something he wants to do.
Fair enough. These are the choices that are laid out to him. So yes, does he do something in the moment with that, or does he try something else instead, just to distract?
Hodor's gonna start like pacing, kind of like bringing himself round here, and he's just gonna keep himself like moving so that he has to kind of be watched, because it's like, where's he be going kind of thing. And as he's doing so, he's going to as he's pacing, he'll say, I know it's away from the topic, but I can't live in ignorance anymore. I need to know exactly what happened to my father after the dishonor. I don't feel like you're telling us the whole story, and whilst he may have dishonored the clan, he is still our blood, he is still our kin. I do believe we at least deserve some understanding of where he is and what's happened to him.
The Jarl sort of looks at you for a few more moments, and he says,
I'm still pacing.
Yeah, he's sort of taking it in. I can see, Jarl, that you are disturbed with what may well have happened and what was done. I will take you aside at some point, once your colleagues are gone, and I will have a chat with you and your brother in more detail. I think maybe you do deserve to know
the depths of what we already understand of that treachery. It will not be pleasant for you, I'm afraid, but you are right. Perhaps you are. Maybe you should be told all of the gruesome details.
Is there a reason you believe it cannot be said in front of our comrades here? Does it reflect badly on you and the clan, perhaps?
His mouth twitches a little bit at that, and he says, "It is for our clan to deal with, not others." And he sort of, there's a bit of disdain in the having others understand some of that.
I'm gonna keep a pace and I go, what happened generally after we left? There's so much missing. I feel out of place in my own clan now. Doesn't feel the same way as it was growing up before. I am hoping Ziza is doing her thing.
Yeah, definitely.
In the midst of this, actually,
there's definitely a lot going on in this moment, and people are
Ziza
definitely
wants
eyeing Hodor.
to message Balder now, and just say, I've informed Hodor that I cannot use detect magic without being seen. I believe that your sibling is in the process of trying to create a distraction, though I do know that social interactions are not their forte. Perhaps you would like to aid them in thus help me help you.
Of course. Can I answer? Is this
Yeah.
a 2-way thing?
I believe so.
Let me scroll up a little bit. The target can give a brief response as a reaction or as a free action on their next turn if they wish, but they must be able to see you and be within range to do so. Since the range is 500 feet, you're definitely within range. If they respond, the response is delivered directly to your ear, just like the original message.
Of course, my lady Valkyrie.
Sorry, that broke me.
Fair enough.
Quietly
Fair enough.
whispered.
I love Balder being wordless around Ziza. I love it. I'm sorry. Okay. So Balder steps up. I am very sorry, Jarl. What my brother is trying to say, and I hope you do not hate me for saying this, brother, is that we would face a lot of prejudice in case our parents' misdeeds are held against us. So we would like to be informed at least what is held against them. But I can assure you that we are not involved with this whatsoever. And starting there, I would like to sort of recount what happened on our journey, but like a very like heightened storybook version of our travels, basically trying to pick us up, saying like, oh, I wrestled a sea serpent and threw it 500 feet away, things along those lines, which happened.
Yes, it is all true. So you're going to make some sort of a performance check here, or how do you? Yes.
Can I do the make an impression things? Because I have this.
Absolutely, you can. 100% use the skill.
You refer the serpent throwing throughout the story, even nowhere near it happening. So it's like, so to get to the point where I throw a serpent, we have to go through all of this. And later on, when I throw a serpent, I do this, but like I do this as well.
This is by far the most impressive thing he has ever done. He will not let anyone forget.
It's never gonna get dropped on that one. Fair enough. So yes, you can definitely use your make an impression. So yeah, you can use your
performance instead of diplomacy. So yeah, you can make your performance check and see how well that plays out
I am
as you're
an
doing
expert
this.
in this.
But
actually.
Zisa, you're very aware right now. This is between the two of them. This is more than enough distraction, or you feel it is enough to be trying to pull off what you're trying to do. Okay, yeah. The Jarl is taking it all in and doing okay. The crowd around is pretty pumped about it. They are definitely they're just definitely taking on, especially a couple of them sort of nudged to each other and said, "You took on a sea serpent?" And there's a bit of that going on as this is happening. As Zisa, as your ping does go off in the room, it does become very, very clear the large sort of battle axe that the actual Jarl is has carried on basically almost strapped to his side at this point. That is definitely coming off as magical, and whatever sort of armor he is as well he's wearing is also giving him some sort of extra protection of you think like a +1 or something along those lines, if that makes sense. But the strongest thing is whatever's going on with his weapon would be the best way of putting it. No signs of any sort of ironwood. That's awesome.
Yeah, sorry, I just placed I forgot that I could place a template.
That's okay. That's okay. But yes, no signs of ironwood or anything along those lines that are causing any sort of grief. It is purely just about the magical weapons that no surprise in some ways that a Jarl of a clan is carrying is certainly going to be a thing. He is well armed and relatively well protected by whatever armor he's wearing.
So then, as soon as Zisa finds that out, instantly a message to Hodor and Baldur, letting them know there is no ironwood present.
And as your sort of Baldur, as your sort of spiel comes to an end, the Jarl sort of says to you, well, it seems like the escapades that you have been up to are impressive indeed.
Of course, but all, of course, by someone from Clan Lutan, and to the greater good of the clan.
Absolutely. To the greater good, and there is sort of a little bit of a cheer around the group as this is all going on. But yeah, he sort of looks at you and he says, I promise, tell you more about your family. But come to me at a calm time. We will talk calmly. But know this for now. There was implications in treacherous behavior. Some was proven. And there was some deaths. Your mother was heavily implicated in what happened. Your father was in denial, but he followed your mother into dishonor. The rest I will tell you in private.
Hodor just does like a quiet nod. Doesn't really trust himself to speak without getting into trouble. So he's kind of just nod.
It looks like we will have to prepare. I at least thank you all for coming here and letting us know what the Orn will be demanding when we next get to Drifthall. But luckily there's not many left of them. And he sort of seems a small sort of a small win on his side in his mind as he says that. Their clan will be diminished by the end of the gathering anyway. There are not enough left. But I thank you for your information. I imagine there will be reparations of some sort. Thank you. It seems like he's, the meeting is coming to an end. unless anyone adds anything to the point. Okay, so yeah, you guys.
No, not from my end.
No worries. So you guys start making your way out into the halls as this is all going on. Baldur, as you make your way close to this dragonborn that has been checking each of you out as this is going on, this one will sort of look over you and he says, "You say you fought Sea Serpent. You are strong. I'm Kathak. I am strong."
I am sorry. I do not know how to sign an autograph.
he sort of chuckles a little bit and he says, "We duel. See who is stronger on the deck. Not to death, but we should see who is stronger. This gives great honor either way."
You mean now?
He seems to be nodding yes. Like he'll take you down to the deck and try and see if he can beat you.
Blythe pushes Baldur forwards just a little bit.
Sort of,
I mean, how can I refuse?
okay.
What was your name again?
Kathak.
Okay, Katak, I will make you taste the floor. Let's go.
And he's sort of like, there's suddenly a bit of like, Tadrol! And then there's sort of like a rah! Sort of as people around are sort of getting sort of jeered up to this possibility. And they're starting to make their way down to the deck. Hodor, what are you doing in the moment?
Hodor will ask any of the Lutan members that are also leading towards us and go, what's Katak's deal? That story. Just so I know what my brother's up against, you know.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, one of the other Dragonborn up here, he sort of leans in and says to you on that one, he thinks he's strong enough to be one of the winners of the gathering. You know, the Halharn, they are suggesting that 27 combatants will come together in the main ring. They will slaughter each other down to the last man, and the winner will take home all the glory. Much money for families of those that die, but all the honor to the winner. And the rest, they make their way down to be ready for Ragnarok. The honored dead, ready to fight in the last war.
When is this tournament? I need this.
In theory, this is what the Clan Halharn are trying to work towards. This is what you've heard the rumor of from the Volve last time, that there's something going on. Now you've had it laid out what in theory is going to be happening. So yeah, the idea of 27 combatants in the main hall fighting utterly to the death. So probably the clan's strongest members of each clan fighting it out is what's being suggested as that's being talked. But yeah, as you guys are sort of walking and talking, a sort of crowd is sort of starting to build around the lower decks as you guys are sort of making your way down to the same space.
Before we start this, my current HP is half of its max.
Oh yeah, you should definitely be all rested and full on.
Yeah. Okay, that was what I was.
Yeah, we can definitely we'll just get you definitely rested back up and see if that there. Or you can have
why?
Because you have to have healed over time, and you have had time since the rest.
Rest for the night only gives me parts of the HP.
We can just max it back out.
Doesn't do sleep and get better. They
You have to
Him and
you have to
Beatrice
physically
Baker.
heal on that one, but don't worry about it. Basically, from the way it's actually played out, there's been time since since the last things went on that you've had about a week of sailing. So I'm not worried. You are at full of everything, if that makes sense in story wise on this one. So Baldur, you're aware enough of how non-lethal duels work in clan society. You are allowed to use weapons. You are obviously allowed to use fists. Magic is usually a no. So you don't normally cast spells or buff yourself up with magic, if that makes sense in those ways, or at least in obvious ways is probably the better way of putting it. So it's not like he's going to be suddenly wielding a magic weapon at you or anything too weird, if that makes sense. But yeah, he's sort of like he's pretty brawny. He's sort of sort of geeing himself up and getting himself ready. So I'm gonna have to use the other token here, but I'm gonna bring you two into the combat. Is anyone else going to be doing anything as all this is going to be going on? Is anyone going to be betting on them, or are they going to be trying to aid what's going on in these situations, or how's this actually going to start playing out? As Baldur, you can roll yourself in some initiative here as that's going on. 1 second, I rolled him in and you, I believe. So apologies, but you came in with a 25, so you're going to be going first as this is going on. So you guys sort of get yourselves ready on either side. If anyone has anything else that's going to happen in this scenario, obviously perk up at any moment if need be, as they're preparing. But yeah, we're going to start going into some fights and see how Baldur will do against this guy.
Does he grab a weapon?
He has a very sorry, that's the wrong token. Let's bring the right token in. The right token, he has basically axes. He seems to be relatively proficient with axes, shall we say. So yeah, he's definitely got axes on him. He'll probably go for the blunt sides of weapons, if that makes sense, to be non-lethal. But yeah, he will be pushing it if that makes sense.
Zisa thinks this is an utter waste of time and makes no point of hiding her opinion.
That makes definite sense on that one. But let me just make sure I connect the right token to him. So apologies, 1 second. I've got to go for.
Strangely out of character, Hoda looks actually mildly concerned.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as this is going on, so the guy sort of he sort of crosses his two axes on his on his chest for a moment. He sort of gives you a slight bow as this is all going on, and he's getting ready, Baldur. But when the sort of moment begins, you're going to be first to go as you've got higher initiative. How are you going to play it?
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna enter my reflective ripple stance.
Okay, so you sort of change stance on him.
Seb just making up stuff about his class again.
Yeah.
It's monks. We wouldn't know.
How do I add this again to my?
So if you click it, it should bring it up in the chat, and then you can drag the effect onto your So there's that effect item at the bottom. You can drag that straight onto your token or onto your sheet, and it will bring that stance straight on. There you go.
Okay. Then I will move up, which will consume something.
Will definitely. So you've done one to go into your stance, which is an action, and then you've done an action to move, and then you've got one action left.
Yeah, and with flurry of blows, that means 2 attacks.
Yep, with the modifier changing as you go. But yeah, absolutely.
But I believe I also have.
And don't forget to target him as well.
I think I did. No,
you did. I can see it out. The little dot is there. Good. We're learning.
I also have flurry of maneuvers, which means I will grapple or try to grapple. So I need to roll an athletics check, I believe.
Okay. You succeed. So yeah, you've definitely done what that is. So he is success. The target is grabbed. So I will add that to him. That is fine. And there we go. So yeah, he has been caught. And then I think if you've got one.
Yeah,
it's one action for athletics check. Yeah, but you obviously you're doing this as flurry of blows, so you have one part of your action left.
Yes. So I think. Yeah, I think I have to attack because I think the other one requires a full action. So I will just attack once then.
Okay.
If I can strike. Yeah, with Stunning Fist.
That sounds good.
I don't know if I toggled it on or off at the moment, but let's try.
Oh, something's happening. Well, yeah, you definitely hit. He's got lowered AC because of your grapple, so that is all good. Yeah, and then you can just roll the damage. Yep, you definitely hit. And he will take the hit. So yeah, you go low and you catch him on the sternum.
Because of Stunning Fist, he also needs to make a Fortitude save.
Okay, so we do a Fortitude.
I think it's in the last box in the chat.
Yep, Fortitude save incoming. I can roll that. See how he's going to do. And he is success. So
okay.
Yeah, he got a 30 on that one. So that is all good. But yeah, he he saved against it. So he's only stunned one. Must succeed a save against your DC or be stunned. No, so he's not stunned at all because he survived. He made through. That's good. But yeah, if you critically fail, stunned 3, that is big. But yeah, so anyway, but yeah, so you've hit him, you managed to catch him, and that's your 3 actions. So you are officially done. That will bring it to his turn. So in his turn, he will attack. So let's target you up, and then on his sheet, let's have a look. He is going to use what he has, which is 2 actions, which is double slice. So that is going to allow him to make 2 strikes, one with each of his melee weapons without the multiplier penalty. So he's going to go for that. So first strike will be this one, incoming. And that will be that looks like that is definitely a hit on that one with the first one. I don't know why that came through twice, but I will roll the damage for you. And that will be 12 off of the first attack. And then the second one incoming. And that is a critical hit. So he will do a fair bit more damage on that one. So yes, 32 damage. So, and then whack with the axe as that's going on. And then that is 2 of his actions, and then he will. Let's see. He doesn't think he'll get too great if he goes for anything else on that one. So he's probably going to. Let's see if he can. He's going to try and demoralize you, Baldur. He's literally going to be trying to get under your skin and trying to demoralize you in those moments with his 3rd action. But his words have no effect on the brave Baldur and
I'm now immune to it apparently.
But yeah, his cutting words mean nothing to you in those moments.
Fine.
And then it is back to your turn at the top of the turn order.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt. No, I still haven't grappled, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. But he's been trying to like hit low and attack.
I'm gonna try to throw him overboard.
Oh shit! Nice. That's an excellent way of ending it quick. Okay, so you attempt an athletics checks against the fortitude of the DC. So yeah, you've got him targeted. You can do what you want to do. If you get high enough. So the first one, he sort of and sort of holds his ground as you attempt with your first action.
I don't let him go, right?
I don't believe so. No. A failure to throw is not the same as losing the grapple in the moment.
Can I try again?
I think you have up to 3 attempts, don't you? With 3 actions in theory.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, critical failure. That's a different. That's a different story on that one. So yeah, that's unfortunately used up your round on that one with that going on. I think that also will drop the grapple in that threat as well.
Wait, it ends my turn?
I believe so. When you critical fail, you lose your next action. I believe I might be right on that one. Yeah, I think that was the reason for critical fail, was that you lost your next action because of it.
You can use a hero point to re-roll if you don't want.
That's fair.
Yes.
Do it.
I have 3 hero points for some reason. Is that possible?
Yeah, you would have reset at the beginning of the session to 1. But yeah, you would have definitely all had 1 at the beginning of the session. So yeah, definitely the time to use hero points. Thank you, Conrad. That's a very good call.
Okay,
so I will point for remembering hero points.
Yes, you can have a point for remembering a point.
Nice.
So I will re-roll the last one then.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the time to do it. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So it is a fail, but it's not a critical in that respect. So yeah, you've still got one more in theory, one last attempt of these 3, or you can try something else. Yeah.
I'm rolling garbage,
but he's like,
sort of what
he's trying to hold his ground in the moments.
That's better.
Okay, success 1. When you throw a creature that does not exist. So I'm assuming this is just like everyone just watches you do the spin move that you had perfected on the serpent as this is all going on,
basically.
and then you just hear as this guy starts flying, and then as he gets thrown into the water over the side, and
it is 10 feet plus 5 feet my strength modifier, so I believe that's a total of.
It's definitely enough to get him in the water. Definitely to get him in the water. 100%.
30 feet or something ridiculous like that. So
I think there is this. As you pull this off, Baldur, there is like this moment of quiet and disbelief for a few moments of where there's
Can Zisa say
silent.
something?
Yeah, you can say something in the silence as everybody's looking.
Yeah,
looking on for a moment.
Zisa just steps forward and says, "I believe you threw the serpent further. Are we done now?"
And as Zisa says that, is suddenly. As everybody around you is just like unbelievably like G'd up, and then these Dragonborn come running in and like patting you on the shoulder and like, you should be the strong one. You should be the one to go into the gathering, Baldur. As there's sort of this yelling going on.
I mean, I don't know about that, but thank you.
Sorry, I had to cough there for a moment. As that's going on, a couple of guys are starting to pick this guy out of the water as this big dragonborn is kind of being pulled up. You do spot Baldur at the top of the stairs. The Jarl was watching as some of this was going down, and then you just see him sort of wander off as this is all happening as you're all going on. But yeah, there's a lot of congratulations sort of going around as this is all all happening in bits and bobs like that on that one. But as this is sort of starting to calm down, the Dragonborn will sort of make his way back onto the boat, and he comes back over to you, sort of stands straight in front of you, and he says, "You are strong, stronger than me." And he sort of bows his head, and then he sort of decouples a armband that he has on one side, and he says, "For you." And he offers you this trophy.
And what is this? I say as I take it from him.
It has been in my family for a while. It is honor.
Well, I will guard it with my life.
And he sort of gives a sort of heavy pat on the chest as this is going on. But yeah, he looks very weighted down by the water of it all.
Also, would you mind if I take your spot in the thing? I actually think it sounds quite fun.
You would bring great honor to all of us. You would win.
I mean, I hope so.
You would kill
Certainly
all of them
hope so.
easily, I'm sure.
And he sort of nods in your way.
I'm not much for killing, but I'll give it a whirl.
His eyes go a bit wide at that for a moment, but yeah, he sort of steps back. He's they're in awe of you right now, Baldur. This is he's in a good place. Would be the best way of putting it. And there's Zeus's disinterest of the situation and the others around you. You guys start to move off from from this clan.
By the way, as Zisa came up and said that, like under his breath, he says, "I love that woman."
Fair enough. As she sort of wanders off. All right. So yeah, you guys make your way back out to the Drifthall. You are back in the main thoroughfare. The Lutan have been dealt with. Is there anything else on your proverbial lists that you want to get done before you end up going to the Drifthall for the tomorrow? Is the honest truth.
I know that Zisa said that she would bring Eggle to the Volve, or at least tell her to go check in with the Volve because she dreams of hell, and they might be able to glean something from her dreams about, what's happening, at least from that.
That's good. I tell you how it plays out then for a little bit. I think there would be, shall we say, there's a little bit of a little piece of passage of time happens. I think that that situation would certainly be one that would be dealt with. I think another one that would happen would be the spoils that you guys have from the Bendor wine merchant ship that you guys managed to ransack. That was something that would also, you could have the crew sell off and get some money from that, if that makes sense, for your purses. So there's certainly a bit of that could be going on. That certainly would be able to get you guys a little bit more flush on cash, is probably the way to put it as well. If I bring up the party sheet, 1 second. Oh yeah, double click on it. So in your stash, you guys have you have Bendor wine barrels that obviously would be worth about 3,000 gold pieces for all told, because you took 10 large barrels worth. So yeah, that would be a fair bit of money for the group, if that makes sense. That could be that could be sold.
I'm so
off.
sorry. I tried to mute my microphone and I couldn't get it in time.
We've all been there.
I sneezed directly into the microphone. I did not mean to do that.
And I know others are suffering in the winter months and pushing through as well. There's plenty of that on that front. So yeah, I'm going to say that would probably happen if you guys are happy with that. I'll get that sold off for you. So there's a bit more cash in the party pot that would certainly happen. ZC, you would certainly be able to have Eggle report. Also, other members of your ship have asked if they can sort of start mingling off. I imagine some would be kept back for dealing with the passengers, etc., or the prisoners from the Lutan.
But yeah, others would probably be requesting, are they all right to move around the drift hall a little bit? You've already let one of the Orn go off to her people. That one happened previously in the last episode. So yeah, we'd say a little bit of that happens, but I suppose, is there a big set piece that we need to cover in this day is the question. Any other main events that you guys need to play out before the gathering, if that makes sense?
What is our party money like?
Your party money as a stash group now is if you click on the actual party
Stash.
icon, and then there is under there is stash at the moment. So there's about 3,200 worth of gold pieces that you guys have. Now I've sold off all the wine. You remember, you haven't done a lot of raiding yet as raiders, if that makes sense, to actually get vast amounts. But yeah, 3,200 is not a small amount of money, if that makes sense. You've got a bit to play with, if that makes sense. And there is definitely, full well there are there's the trading market where there certainly would be things to buy. Zisa, you probably would expect there to be items available for on the magician ship as well, in theory. But yeah, there's certainly money that can be spent at the feasting halls if you want to go drinking. There's definitely those possibilities depending on what you want to do. But yeah, other events before the day passes really is what we're after.
Could always do with a magic bow.
Yeah, a kind of question. Are we planning to set up the Jarl of the Lutan to take a fall for whatever happens?
If we are going to do that, I would like to find out what happened to our parents before the meeting, and then we throw them under the bus.
Yeah, the thing is,
I don't want to wait until afterwards for that.
Yeah, the thing is, if the things are going to come up at the meeting, for example, because I assume that the prisoners are going to be called up there.
Yeah, so basically the way the gathering kind of works is there's usually an order of discussion of things that happen. Pertinent business comes up first. That the Orn are aware of what's happened because you've let your Orn members of your boat return to the Orn, for starters, and you came in with an Orn ship. So they will be petitioning almost straight away for what will be going on. You can guarantee that will come up. The Whar clan will come up, more than likely, which would also bring up the Bendor and King Senric, I would imagine, would also come up, because that's all interrelated with the Whar clan, because they're new here. You can guarantee those bits. And then there's usually the other normal politics of other events that may have happened that you guys are not aware of in the interim time would come up.
Yeah, the thing is, if we want to set them up, I think it's best to do it before the meeting. So that means talk to our prisoners, talk to the Orn probably, talk to the other clans that are probably hostile to the Lutan. Maybe some other clans as well. I mean, it's
definitely doable. Certainly, there are ways and means of making it look worse or better, and also your group, how you vouch for what went down. You can make it far worse for the Lutan or improve things for them. Either way is certainly doable, if that makes sense. So yes, you can definitely visit with the Orn if you wish as well. That's certainly probably advisable. I would definitely say that would definitely be up there on the list. I know Zisa had some interest in obviously visiting the Conclave and also visiting Halharn in general. I know those two were on the list as possibles. But yeah, it's just what do you want to hit in what order?
We should probably talk to the Whar clan as well.
Yeah,
they are definitely here. They are definitely here. And you have time. I think the best way to look at it is probably the gathering would be next session, if that makes sense. So you probably, this is your prep for whatever's going to go down on that one.
I think the biggest one is we need to talk to Halharn and try to calm them down. Try to them not to start a small war, basically.
You're very aware now that they are expecting to make an event at the end of the gathering where the strongest will fight to the death, and one will take honor. Is basically what's being planned. Is like a Great Games is sort of being planned. That's certainly true. So, do you guys think that was your next step on the list? Then is to visit Halharn and then start dealing with the other clans afterwards? Does that kind of make sense? Okay, no problem. So you guys will make your way across the main sort of thoroughfare of boats that sort of link between, basically where Lutan, the Orn, and then onwards to Halharn. The House of Stone, the large House of Prayer, you have to pass relatively close to before making your way into the main Halharn area as this is all going on. Let me bring you guys through to that space. Right, let me drag you on. Okie dokie. So many things, guys. Move between the pages. Drifthall is Drifthall's got like whole chapters of the book just for it. So right, let's move to the right section here and move it on that front. So numerous longships are connected together, and large banners of owls with their wings outstretched seem to be on the front of these boats, like they're almost fighting against the gusty wind. Perched on the peak roof of this helmskick is several large ravens that seem to squawk as you approach. As you guys make your way closer, you make your way into the main large meeting hall, and you can see there are a bunch of people here, and things seem to quieten down as things are going on. At the head of the table, there is a woman. Zisa would know that this is Mother Gunbarg, the Jarl. She also is the All Jarl, so that would mean that she is the leader of the leaders, if that makes sense right now. Every time you have a Drifthall, you pick a new leader of the whole group. So she is currently the head of that, if that makes sense. It basically goes, she makes the decisions, the Volve, and then the vote below her, if that makes sense. So she has a lot of weight in what's going on. But yes, everyone sort of goes quiet as you guys arrive, they take note. She sort of looks at Herolf for a few moments, and there is a awkward silence would be the best way of putting it, for a few moments, before a different person will sort of perk up. There is a little sort of halfling guy off to one side that sort of starts coming round and making his way over to you all quickly as this is going on, and he says, "Hello there. I believe that you must be the chosen. My name is Meek. Welcome to the All Jarls Assembly. How can we help you?"
Meek, you were not the first to address us as the chosen. What is it that is known of us that we are to be described as such by so many?
The Volve have told us of sending a group, and they have been calling you that. I think it is kind of caught on. Others have realized some of who you are, and we have heard some rumors of stories that have already made their way here. Some interesting deeds have been acclaimed to your group. You are already building somewhat of a legend.
That is good. We wish to speak to Mother Gunbarg.
Sorry about that. Right, and he sort of says, yes, very well. Please, this way. I would suggest, Rolf, that you, I would would stay back if you want things to go well. And Hrolf looks a little sheepish and kind of nods and sort of starts to make his way to take a table rather than making his way up with you all as this is all going on. But yeah, you guys can make your way over to the sort of main tables. Meek will sort of bring himself round and sort of speaks in her ear for a few moments before she will come round to speak to you all. But it's a very spacious hall, and she's sort of looking at you all, and she says, "Greetings, chosen of the Volve. It is good to see you have returned from whatever the business was that the Volve had sent you on. Your timing is auspicious. The gathering is within a day. The clans are gathered. Your intel will obviously be of use to all." Oh, you're muted, Conrad. Oh, you're definitely muted. Oh dear, we've lost him. Tell you what, how about? Oh, maybe it's me. I can't hear anyone. Hang on, 1 second. I can hear now. I can hear. Let's try that again.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, we can hear. Right. Okay, so that was my end. I muted you all instead. It was the other way around. So yes, I wonder why it was quiet. So yes, yeah, she says that. Then Z says, "Sorry, Conrad. Well, what were you saying next?"
Similar to the deference that Zisa showed Hel, she instantly takes a knee with Mother Gungbarg to show respect. And will say, "Yes, our business with the Volve has taken us to many places. We have learned many things, of which we will share with the clans tomorrow. There are some things that I wished, and others in our raiding party." A very pregnant meaning there as she glances over her shoulder at Hrolf.
Yeah, who's like trying to act like he's calm and collected in this moment, but clearly not.
Also wish to share with you, and maybe through your wisdom learn more.
Well, I am grateful that you have come to visit. And what is it you would have me know before the gathering?
She stands and says, "First, as a member of Halharn from Halwick, I would ask that you trust me to cast a spell."
She raises an eyebrow at that on that front.
Arcane magic? Here?
You know of which I am capable, and there are things to learn. I would be remiss to say that I do not want those who should not hear to hear, and I can discover that if allowed.
Oh, you're going to have to make a very hefty persuasion check. You're not the most liked person in this group.
Nope,
for
not.
This one. But yeah, you can definitely make the check and see how it goes.
You said diplomacy?
You can do persuasion. Is probably is the easiest on that one. You could go diplomacy as well. I think yes, both would be acceptable.
So I guess I'm not seeing persuasion. I'm only seeing diplomacy.
Oh, you should. If you target your token, you should find under skills. You should have. Because you're not. Yeah, so you probably have to go the other one because you don't have because you're not trained in it. You can't do it. It's probably what's going on.
I never would have guessed.
That makes sense on that one. But yeah,
Okay,
you can go diplomacy.
I'm not good at this. It says there's no active encounter. So hang on.
I
can roll it for you if you can't.
No, I got it. Hang on. This is bad. This is gonna be bad, everyone. This is gonna be bad.
I don't have persuasion, by the way. It is
Nope.
just diplomacy.
I don't have
think.
persuasion. Yeah.
Persuasion.
Because it even says untrained next to the things you're untrained in.
Ah, okay. Oh, well. Diplomacy of 11, yeah. I mean, she gives you a look and she says, arcane magic is denied here. We know it created the world, but it is not acceptable in amongst our people. Not by normal circumstances. We will find other ways to deal with such things.
Zisa is stoic, but those who have traveled with her see a very, very slight clenched jaw, which is a reaction of slight fury, but then continues. As you say, there are enemies that threaten not only Clan Halharn, but all of the clans. The Volve saw wisdom in hearing our warning about them, and we thought that you, as the Jarl of Jarls of the Drifthall, would want to know of it as well.
Then speak.
There is an influence that has wormed its way into at least 2 of the clans that we know of. Hopefully not more, but as I said, without the aid of my arcane magics, I cannot tell. They seek to bring about, from what we can tell, the end of times. What we have been tasked by the Volve to learn of and thwart, if possible.
Ragnarok
We believe
is
that
on the way. That is for sure.
they believe that unity in this time among the clans would be wise. We agree. We have spoken with the Whar clan, and they have attended the Drifthall for the first time in some time. We have one of their number in our raiding party, and I gesture to Blythe.
Indeed. They come in large number with strange beasts. These are certainly different times. The power dynamic of the clans is certainly going to be changed by the arrival of your kind. And she sort of, Jamie towards, just towards him, sort of, gives a sort of a nod and sort of recognition. Your great clan is obviously been hard at work, and they will be accepted well here.
I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that.
We look forward to
Last
learning
thing you
more
want.
about them and what has been going on their escapades with yourselves. We heard a little, but not a lot of what's been going on. And I suppose the questions of how much do you fill in over the next period is the key. What clans were involved with this Ironwood plot? How much of that is she getting? How much is she going to be filled in on what's been going on? Is the question.
Before Zisa tells her anything about the Ironwood, since it's a subtle spell, she will kind of glance at Harolf and cast Message and say to him, she has denied my usage of magic to detect the Ironwood. I don't know if that means she is under its influence or not. I do not know if I should risk casting it and gaining her ire. With that in mind, how much should we share?
How much can he reply? Just a couple of quick short sentences, I'm guessing, is about.
The target can give a brief response as a reaction. So I guess whatever you believe a reaction would be in this.
Play your cards close to your chest. She struggles to empathize with others, but that does not mean she does not care for her people You get the sense he's suggesting that he wouldn't think that this is out of character in the way in what he is responding.
Okay. So while Blythe is responding to Mother Gunbarg, she just had that quick interaction with Hrolf.
So how much does she get told of what's going on?
Zisa will share the travel to the tower, the visions that we had, the burning of our ship by raiders, the rescue of members of the Orn from raiders, gaining crew from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, and I think those of you who know her to be pretty forthwith realize that she's not saying that the Whar clan attacked us. She's not saying that the Lutan attacked the Orn. She hasn't mentioned Ironwood at all. But we'll say at the end of it all, more will be filled in tomorrow when we speak to the clans as a whole.
I see.
But we have shared what the Volve thought wise of us to tell.
Well, the Volve are wise in this. She sort of gives you a look like she knows that there must be more. But
yes.
She's not. She doesn't press against the word of the Volve. That's actually quite a good way of playing it in those terms.
Zisa will end it with one thing that the Volve seem to believe, and from what we have learned amongst our varied crew of clansmen from all ships that have arrived here at the Drifthall, is that unity going forward seems to be important. Excuse me for speaking out of turn, but this battle that we have heard of to find the strongest of the clansmen may do that, but would also see the end of many others that are capable in what moving forward could be a battle that affects us all.
She sort of perks up and says, "At the end of days, the dead will rise and fight it out. That is what Ragnarok is foretold to be. Therefore, my suggestion is for the strongest to fight it out here and make their way in glorious death so they are ready for the fight. It seems like a logical solution, and to be ready for the end. But others," and she does look to Meek off to one side for a moment, "have expressed similar concerns. I will take it under advisement. I will think on this. You're not sure if your words have got through, Zisa, but it sounds like there is more going on than just her word here in some of this. So, there may be allies that are available in some of this, but she seems to accept what you're saying. But it's hard to say whether you've turned the tide in these moments, if that makes sense."
Thank you for speaking with us, and more will be revealed tomorrow.
And she nods and takes a sort of a longer moment looking at the table further off behind you all where Hrolf is sitting. But then, quietly nods to Meek to have you guys move on from her doorstep, if that makes sense. And with that, I think the meeting of the Volve will be starting to become a thing. We will
take a quick break for a drink, and we will return for the last parts of whatever we're going to do before the gathering for next time. So yeah, let's move back to the Drifthall. I'll put us on a break, and then we will reconvene. All right, so we are back. Okay, so yeah, everyone has just left Drifthall, Halharn, so the party has sort of moved off, and as far as I understand from what you guys are saying, the party are moving to visit the Whar clan next, on that one, and then possibly the Orn after that. I will bring you guys through to the Whar clan. 1 second. All right, let's bring your token on.
Oh.
Right, here we go. So that should bring you guys in, and then just change the view.
Do they have a giant skeleton attached to their ship?
Yes, they definitely do. Giant wolf heads everywhere. A giant, giant death skeleton on the front of the ship of the main clan head, and up ahead there are two people that you do recognize. Certainly on that one, there is Athos, the leader of the Whar, and the gully is nearby as well. So yes, the two of them you have definitely met. And as you sort of approach, there is a sort of a wry smile on her face as you guys start making you up, and it says, "Well, the chosen are back. Seems been a long time, hasn't it? Must be all of a week." And she sort of chuckles a little bit at all of it, but well, Drifthall is here. We found it. You found it. How's your travels been since you left us and the kingdom and Hell's little escapade?
The kingdom is fine, thank you. But we are more here on diplomatic stance.
It seems all that you do. She's like on that one.
I'm not sure that you are aware, but Halharn seems to want everyone to fight to the death. And seeing as you are one of the smaller clans that have shown up, we are just a bit...
She's sort of newer, maybe not smaller.
No, you know what you know what I mean. I mean, in terms of your boats and men, you are very vastly outnumbered by the three bigger ones that I have seen.
I'm not going to lie, I certainly am trying to figure out how this is all going to play out. I've never been to the gathering myself. The politics here is very full on.
Has something like this ever happened before or ever been tried?
The Drifthalls, yes, every 7...
No, not the Drifthall, for the fight at the end of the Drifthall. It's just completely new.
This is new, Frida. Yeah, you've not heard of that being a thing. But then Ragnarok's not been round the corner for other Drifthalls, if that makes sense. Yeah, on that one.
I don't think it's because of Ragnarok. I think Halharn are having a power trip.
Maybe, but yeah. As far as Athos is concerned, on that front, it's like sending warriors directly to their death in glorious battle here does not seem the same as taking to a real fight. I find it a strange idea. But if they want to go visit Hell quicker, that is up to them. But to us, this seems slightly strange.
It is strange. This has not happened before. We, as you can see behind you, the Orn is also very small at the moment. do not think
and
that this fight...
as you do say that, you sort of it pans over. There's one main ship and a smaller ship, which is the one that you guys brought with you as the second ship. There is a smattering of Orn aboard, if that makes sense. In total, their numbers are very pitiful. The Whar, they're looking a lot better than that. Let's put it that way. But still being on the slightly smaller side, but nothing compared to now what the Orn are over what they should have been. Yes, the devastation is quite severe. The Orn Clan, I understand, were a strong presence here at Drifthall. That will be lost this time. If my understanding is correct, their clan status will be moved to lesser, which basically means their power will be lost at this Drifthall, and then their votes will become... Basically, there are the main clans, and then there are the lessers. Once you are the part of the lessers, you're basically getting a small group of votes. Your weight is no longer felt at Drifthall.
Yes, it is extremely unfortunate. The Orn are a great clan and always have been. Shame to see that.
Other clans have been on the brink before. Maybe with time they can rebuild.
Yes, well, hopefully that is the case. But yes, we just wanted to make sure that you knew about what was happening, and if it was to happen, you need to ready your best and strongest men and women to fight.
We are always ready to fight. We will be here for all that is needed. I do not fully understand all of this clan politics, but I am trying to learn quickly. I appreciate any insights that you may have.
Well, you have a clan member who is chosen by the Volve, apparently. I did not know that we were chosen, but...
Yes.
Life is here with...
Rumours have started circulating, that is definitely true. We may have had our place in some of that. And she sort of smiles towards Blythe at some of that one. We spoke of some of your escapades. Maybe this has led to some impression as well. You did diffuse a situation with a god. That's not a small feat.
That's... Sure. The god thing is a bit here and there. Blythe, was there anything you wanted to talk to your clan about before we leave?
I do have a couple of questions. How much of what went on with the unfortunate incident at Keckle where your ships were taken out is going to be reported back at the gathering?
You're muted, Jamie.
Yeah, he seemed to
I don't
be...
know how.
Ah, there you are, you're back.
Okay. I was going to say, didn't Zisa just say about this to somebody?
Zisa specifically left out
Yeah, what clans were involved.
Any clan aggression in our in our adventures. So I said that raiders took out our boat. I didn't say that it was
Raiders. I didn't know if you were implied in the Whar. Okay.
I didn't say that the Orn were attacked specifically by the Lutan. I said they were attacked by raiders.
I say as much. I'll just say that we said about raiders taking them out, but I wouldn't throw my clan under the bus, the cart, if you like. It was for. It was wrong, but for the right thought process, wasn't it?
Yes, we understand the misunderstanding
hold
of some
completely.
of it.
We were led to believe that you believe or had the belief that Hel herself had told you what needed to be done.
We were to
And
watch, not attack. Whatever the witches of the Ironwood altered in the messages that made it to my brother. But there was influence there.
I have not shared this with my clan when recounting what has happened. I would advise that if that is to be shared, it should be from you. And coming from your clan, it would have more impact that the words be true.
Yes, we should. We can explain there is treachery of the Ironwood. That we believe Hel is aware of it. And that someone was trying to manipulate us. If you're willing to go along with that as the story, as your group,
I believe
is
if we back you up with that, then I see no grounds to have any comeuppance regarding it. You've told the truth. You've then, asked us if that's okay. We approve. We're the ones that the ships were destroyed. So
yes, an unfortunate incident, but a regrettable one. But we can show that there was treachery of others involved.
exactly.
James, from what I remember,
Mm-hmm.
Frida told everything to the Volve because she is a good paladin.
100%, yeah. You've told the Volve everything, but the Volve are not the clans. There is two different things.
I was going to bring that up. I would have. Frida would say, the Volve do know that it was you, but whether they do anything about that is up to them. But we will go with your story for now, as we believe it.
You are one of them in some ways. Your voice, I understand, would hold some weight with them if you were to discuss this before the meeting a little bit and see where their points lie. If you can help us persuade them that that's a good way to play it with the other clans, we would be grateful. We are smaller, but we wish to have our place amongst the clans as a greater clan approved.
Well, I did not invite you here for no reason. I think that you should be a part of this. You are as big as a clan as the others. You should have your say.
We should take our place. And we will. We are here for that. And we will stand by any parts of your story that you wish. It is reasonable to our clan.
What more questions do you have? I'm sure Blythe will answer the truth. Frida's slowly losing trust in a lot of everyone.
There's too much skullduggery going on around that on that one. Basically Blythe, she would just want to know what else you guys have found out about any of the Ironwood stuff that you were following up on, if that makes sense. Would you tell her about the matron and the whole mysterious island and all of that kind of stuff? All of that sort of there is a bigger power involved that is probably controlling the witches, or does she get to know any of that prior to the gathering?
I don't know, because we were quite open when we came back from the castle, weren't we?
You absolutely were on that one. So you were certainly you talked about a greater power, but you had no proof at that point, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So
you hadn't had any of the events of that of meeting the matron or any of that kind of thing at that point.
I wouldn't have any problem telling them. If anyone would stop me as I am, then
no, I think Frida would be okay with it because Hell kind of knew a lot about it anyway.
Yeah.
So
She definitely did. Okay, yeah. So she will take it in, and so understanding that there is a greater power controlling the witches on this one. So we knew of a name of the Witch King, but this new name that you bring is new to us. I will have to think on this. Maybe pray to Hell and see if she will offer extra guidance on this. I'm assuming this information will be shared more greatly with the gathering when it occurs tomorrow. But I am appreciative to know up front. I thank you for that. If there's anything else you need from our clan, by all means, let us know. We can offer as much as we can.
I do the clan greeting, I guess.
Yeah, she will take it on that one.
I'm sure there's probably one, isn't there? Like,
yeah, there's definitely one. But she comes to you as well, Blythe, and she says, "For too long you have lived away from the main clan. I know that your training and your beliefs were, shall we say, on the fringe of things. But you are one of us. And you never have to forget that or worry. You will always have a place. And we will back you up in any way we can. You are the chosen."
It means a lot. I always did see myself as part of the Whar clan. And when we were attacked, it caused great anguish in me to try and decide between the two. So seeing us for what we are now, I am very relieved, and
these witches
have every
and
intention
this
of joining us back.
other power have lots to answer for. We will
Indeed.
get to the bottom of it, and we will be there at the end of days. And she sort of, it's just pledging her allegiance as it should be, as much as she can to your cause in those moments.
So the most untrustworthy clan at the beginning has become like the most trustworthy clan.
well, for some of us, Hodor and Baldur still think they killed their dad, so it's still.
There's all manner of weird
Lucy
things.
goes-
I wouldn't worry about that.
Fair enough. As you guys slowly depart from the Whar clan, do you then make your way over to the solitary ship of the Orn on the other side? You can already see Thorngerd is further on the ship towards the back, discussing something with someone that is a little further down. A young
is that why
woman
the
seems
ship
to
is
be
red?
seems to be looking out over the sea and is chatting with Thorngerd as this is going on. There are about 6 or 7 solitary figures, all roughly looking out to sea on this quite disheveled little ship as this is all going on. And we change to the next bit. One sec.
Oh, sorry. Azisa would have sometime in that conversation maybe stepped away and just did a quick detect magic to see if there were any stuff going on here.
Oh, absolutely. You would definitely, again, any sort of the clan leaders, they seem to be decked up to the nines in.
They're packing.
And definitely packing is the way to do it. But no signs of anyone with thorns or anything like that going on that you've been able to detect as this has been happening. So yes, you make your way over to the Orn ship. Yes, so there's a single lone Orn ship tethered near the House of Stone. A tattered, well-soiled banner with a great eagle flutters in the wind. A handful of warriors sit watch, staring blankly across the churning sea. Thorngerd is deeper in the ship as you guys make your way closer, and she sort of greets you first, and then we'll introduce you. She says, welcome back. Thank you for coming to visit Oda. These are the
ones I have been traveling with that found us on Felagar. Please, Oda, to meet the clan here. And the young sort of woman looks very young to be in the position that she probably now is, but she turns around to you all and she sort of greets you all and she says, "So, these are, as what people have been calling, the Chosen. Thank you for bringing Thorngerd and the others back, and another ship. You have literally doubled our number here at Drifthall." And you can see she's she's just trying to hold back a little bit on some of it.
It is great to meet you, but we do not come with great news, as I do not want to pack on bad news, but Halharn are planning on, I don't know if forcing is the right word, but creating some sort of tournament between all the clans, putting all of your strongest people against each other, and with such a small crew, this is not going to bode well for you, unfortunately.
Nothing will. Our clan is loss of number. To die in battle, to fight valiantly might be the only way to be ready for Ragnarok at this point. We are not going to be a fighting force in any other way. Maybe joining our clan on the other side and fighting the battle from there might not be the bad way to go.
I am not sure this is the way to go. Sorry for interrupting. That was not my intention. There has been a moment in my past when someone died in a confrontation similar to this. I looked into his eyes right before he passed and saw no salvation, no safeguard, no bliss or readiness for Valhalla. Going out in this way is not the way to join your clan on the other side. At least that is what I believe.
She looks up at you and she says, "Strange words to hear from the clan that has basically destroyed us. Thorngerd has at least filled us in on some of what has gone on. An ex-member of your clan magically causes the eruption. Others of your clan deliver him and are involved somehow. Do not think we will not be petitioning what we can. We may be made lesser in all of this, but we will have our voice heard for one last time at Drifthall. I know that you have managed to save some of my people, but we are so few now. How many thousands are dead because of your clan? This is hard to hear from you." And you can see she is severely frustrated. But and to hear those words of odd mercy are hard to hear coming from a member of the Lutan.
I do not speak for my clan. I only speak for myself here.
Well, there's one voice I hear what you say. But we are lost to all of this. I cannot see how we can rebuild before Ragnarok.
Maybe you do not need to rebuild, but having the clan, you still have the name of the clan. You're still recognized. You may not be as big as you were, but people will still take what you say better than most of the other lesser clans, let's say.
Without number or power, we will be less than nothing, I'm afraid, in the coming. But Thorngerd did have one interesting suggestion. I do not know if this is something that you wish to hear, but if some or all of the chosen were to decide to join our clan, that would give interesting prestige to us in the moment. Maybe even keep our name. Maybe even make us able to recruit.
I look at Rauda, the only one without an actual clan.
There is precedent for changing clan. It can be done. You do have to disown your own one in the process. But she is basically offering, if anybody wants to take it, you would get it.
I don't know how Frida can.
Yeah, Frida, you are an oddity in this group. I would definitely say that makes sense for above the Volve. But you do get a sense that she's mostly talking to the rest of this group. Would anybody be interested in that as a possible way forward?
I would if I wasn't the Volve.
Yeah, no, your hands were tied in different ways before you even realized you made the character.
Yeah.
I think I still have business with the Lutan, so I'm also.
I literally just told the Whar that I was going to stay there.
I definitely understand.
Hodor looks very conflicted, so very specifically does not say anything, does not agree with her. Does not take her offer, nor does he outwardly reject it. Says literally nothing, just looking incredibly deep in thought.
Zisa looks to Herolf.
Yeah, I mean, Herolf is, he's clan Halharn through and through. To your mind, Zisa, it's a look of, like, your Halharn in his mind. Is the honest truth.
Zisa also says nothing. She just looks on stoically.
Mm-hmm. Drew, is Rauda interested in any way, or would she? Is it not really her?
I mean, she's probably been a member of many clans over the years.
Again, true.
She will pipe up and say that she will join them on one condition, and that she is the only fighter put forward. Should they decide to partake in this tournament?
Oh God!
I was going to suggest Frida would fight for them, but go ahead. That is fine.
Oda, she's
fight to the death, and she literally can't die, so it's not.
No, it's fair.
Technically cheating, I guess.
Then Rauda, you shall join us. And if anyone else in these coming hours is willing to approach, by all means do. This will give us some prestige. With that, maybe we can even put the word out amongst the Varang to maybe we are trying to rebuild and join them together. Maybe some of the lesser clans can become one under the banner of the Orn. Perhaps we can rebuild our power base that way. Certainly with one of the chosen, a member of our clan, our voice cannot be lost forever. And you can see for the first time now she is literally, she's thinking through purpose, and she's thinking through ideas of how they can build back up.
this is kind of like lighting a bit of a fire under Oda on that one. Sorry, Rowder. So, if you are willing to take the clan symbol and go that way, she certainly accepts heartily, and they will definitely be on the up from having that as a possibility. And until the gathering, the option is still open for others to come forward if they wish, if that makes sense. You can see this pleases Thorngerd as well. She seems very pleased that one of you has decided to take the banner. I mean, she already felt honoured that she was working with you guys anyway. But this is kind of a good moment for her. On this small group of numbers, there's a small cheer that will go up between them as one of the chosen has decided to join the group on that front.
Frida will have said to them that under other circumstances she would have joined. She has always respected the Orn Clan. And their craftsmanship.
She definitely nods on that one. So yes, they will. They definitely make you aware that they will be petitioning for the Lutan clan to be punished for what has gone on. They will not be hiding that fact. They are also aware of some of the detail through Thorngerd of what went on, so their petition will have some weight. She does want to ask how your version of events will play out, if that makes sense. So if you guys do have a think of what kind of things you're going to be saying during the Drifthall that will incriminate the Lutan or not, if that makes sense, I'll ask you some very specific questions in the week between the sessions, so we know exactly where certain conversations are going to be heading during certain events on that one. But yeah, they seem to they're on the brink, but yeah, they will see if their voice can still be heard for one last time, or hopefully rebuild for something more with time. Is there anything else with this clan that we need to deal with, or are we? Shall we move on to one last section before we get to Drifthall for next time?
Before Drifthall, at some point, Hoda would definitely push Boulder to go and find out what happened to the parents.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100%. I will have off camera. We'll have that event occur, if that makes sense. So the two of you will be aware of all of the events that the Jarl is willing to reveal in that meeting. So you will be prepped for that, ready for next week. That is certainly going to be doable. That is no problem. Is there any other? We can have probably got time for one last event, if that makes sense. If there is any other section here, any other thing that you are going to be going to before Drifthall, if that makes sense. Is there anywhere else you guys would be attempting to visit before that is going to go down, if that makes sense? It's been a long day of talking, but yeah.
Will we see if we can spend our money?
You absolutely can make your way to the trading market. That's certainly doable.
What is the House of Stone?
The House of Stone is where the clans go to pray. So there is basically, as far as most are aware, all of the deities of this world are in some form shown there. There is usually small shrines to each of them. And yeah, it should be, there is healing and prayers are doable there, if that makes sense, at the House of Stone. Obviously, the feasting halls is where you go for drinking and rumours and merriment and things like that. Conclave of Magicians is kind of a Zisa thing, if that makes sense, rather than everybody. But we could do a bunch of you go to the trading market and have a look at some of what wares are on sale, and I cover that with Zisa for a little bit, if she would be doing that before we go.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Zisa would be intrigued by it. So
okay, so what we'll do is I'll take you guys to the trading market, because you should be able to see what's going on there, and I believe the merchants are set up there that you should be able to see what is going on. So let me just bring you guys across there, and then I'll take Zisa across to the Conclave of Magicians as a separate on that one. So right, let me bring the party in, and
I did hear a little bit when I was in the car. How much did we get? I think for the wine.
That's okay. So yeah, you've got about 3,200 gold pieces in total. That's in the party stash, if that makes sense. Do you want me to just distribute that between each of you evenly as a start point? Will that help you?
Yeah,
I can do that, so that everyone can get a bit of gold from that. So that should make life a little easier as that's coming through. And basically there are merchants here from all of the different clans. Each have their own different things that they offer up a little bit on that one. So there is definitely merchants from like the Tavar clan and a few others, if that makes sense, that are around that can certainly help you out on some of that. What are you guys looking for particularly? Is there any sort of bits and bobs that
magic bow, but none of them got one.
Magic bow, yeah, you might, yeah. The magic items are not so easy. Now,
what is this sonic tuning mace like this?
Now, the only thing that I will say for you, I believe the Lutan guy is one that is supposed to be able to hunt down certain items over time, and you're allowed to roll on a sheet, if that makes sense, every so often of different items. Because you are of the same clan, basically on that one. Yeah, I think you can definitely do a little bit of trying to roll on that and see if that something of interest will come up in time, if that makes sense, over the next period, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna just grab the right roll here for a moment. 1 second. Let me get the right roll table here on that one. That is going to be in the trading market one here. And Lutan
have
goods.
Bullets.
Okay. Yeah. If you can, Jamie, can you give me a D20 roll, please, and just see how you're doing with that, if that makes sense. You're setting through his sort of general 3 on that one. So a 3. Oh, okay, that's not too bad for you. Not a bow on that one, but there is +1 ammunition that's available from him that you would be able to pick up. So let me go and grab you some of that, so that'll be added to the sheet for you.
James, the one down the bottom doesn't exist. It's not letting me interact with it, and the one to the left hasn't got any items.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there must be something's gone on there. So give me 2 seconds. I will fix some of these for you on that front, so you can take a look. What I'll do is, we'll once we break for the end of the game, I'll fix those, and we'll allow you to go through and just do your shopping in about 15 minutes or so, if that makes sense. If we just quickly have the scene with Zisa, and then Jamie, you'll be able to pick up this ammunition, if that makes sense. But you basically shopping for most of you, and Zisa, I will take you to the other end, so that the guys will be able to follow, if that makes sense, so they can see what's going on. But only you are technically here as this all.
I wasn't technically shopping with them.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same rules. Same rules will apply as this is all going on. Right. So I will bring you through to here. So let's bring the party out here. So when you do arrive at this barge, unlike the other ships that are connected on Drifthall, the Mage's Conclave is only connected to the Volve ship, and then no other ships, if that makes sense. So it's kept fairly isolated, and this is going on. As you're sort of walking in, there are a bunch of people, mostly in robes, some with musical instruments, bards, etc. They're sort of sitting around on nice sort of cushions, etc. There is strange green candle light and glows from fires around as different magics are being used in amongst it. There seems to be strange coloured smokes that drift through the air. There is a sort of shopping district that is sort of connected to this, if that makes sense. That's not sort of shown on the map, but this has sort of been condensed down into one sort of section here. A bunch of different people talking around. One round here is that Blokey is here, along with Fjord, and he seems to spit out his drink when he spots you, Z. So it's like, we were just, I'm sorry, we were just taking a break. We, we're not sort of, I'm sort of not, I can't really go wandering. I had to come here, and drinks were available. It's, and he's kind of like he's awkwardly trying to back off himself as he's trying to explain why he is actually here. As Fjord is sort of looking kind of bored on the other side of the table, but she is definitely here as well as this is all sort of happening. But he's slightly surprised that you've turned up as he's having a drink, if that makes sense.
She just looks at him and says, "Blokey, I do not care."
Good. Yeah, and if you talk to Hrolf, you didn't see me.
If I talk to Hrolf, I will tell him exactly what I saw here.
Oh.
You do not tell me what I see and what I do not.
Okay. And then he sort of sips his drink awkwardly, and sort of backs off a little bit as that's all sort of going off. As you're sort of looking around, Zisa, most of these people are just in discussion as this is going on. However, the woman at the far end, she seems to have a bunch of tables set out with sort of different items on the table section that's going on. She seems to be a heavily pregnant woman wearing sort of bright sort of greenish robes. She seems anxious and worried and sort of constantly sort of glancing around and looking about. But it seems like she is some sort of seller of wares within this place, if that makes sense.
Zisa will ask Blokey and Fjord, what can you tell me of the pregnant woman and her wares?
She seems to be selling some interesting magic items on that one. I think she's a magician. Only one here I've seen.
So magician in the terms of like Vikings, what does that mean? Like, because I'm a wizard and he's a bard.
Yeah,
like,
he does mean wizard. He does mean it in those same in the same term. He's implying the same as you.
Okay.
On that one, you're not common. Wizards are not a common thing, if that makes sense.
So she'll nod to that and then just, without saying anything else to them, walk up directly to this lady.
And she sort of looks around sort of a little bit for a moment and then spots and says, someone new. How can I help?
It would seem that you and I are unique, even among other users of the arcane.
She narrows her eyes a little bit.
And I pulled down my sleeve so that she could see the intricate arcane tattoo of one of my spells.
You are trained similarly to me then. And she does almost the same as she pulls up her sleeve and sort of suggests, good thing we met at Drifthall.
As you say, I have had a few interactions with others of our kind out on the waters and raiding, and it did not turn out well for them.
Nor for the ones I've met.
Game recognized game.
Yes. Although she is also, by the same token, heavily pregnant and and selling items. So there's a little bit of something there.
What of your wares do you think would interest me?
If there's any sort of interest in any
spells, I have a few pieces of skin from others that have been taken. If spells are of interest to you, they are fairly stalwart spells. They don't seem to push the boundaries too far into territory of the odd.
Can I roll a sense motive to see if maybe she's not hiding like better spells on her or something like that?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can definitely do a bit of that. 1 second. So let's have a look.
Did she say I've got bits of skin I've collected?
Yep.
Which Zisa does not bat an eye at that at all. She has been skinning that fire wizard for the past like couple of weeks, gang. On your boat.
There's definitely been a bit of that on that front. So 25.
Support your local skin dealers today.
She is trying to figure you out. There's definitely a bit of that going on, Zisa. She's trying to work out what you are, if that makes sense. You're a dreamer, and that is obviously not a common piece of knowledge. Her comment about not her spells not drifting too far into odd realms is kind of a comment hinting towards what a seeker would be. So I'll kind of give you that, if that makes sense. She's basically trying to work out. I mean, you're never going to be on good terms with another magician. That's just the way it is. But she's trying to work out what you are. She won't know, but she is trying to hint in that direction. So as long as you don't ask for anything too dreamery, it would be hard for her to fathom that out.
Okay. What do you know of magicians such as us attempting to scribe spells on their bodies that would not be of our nature? Perhaps druidic spells.
A strange notion. I have not heard of anyone achieving such a thing. You have run into one of us that was strayed into that?
I have at least seen the attempt, not the employment of said spells.
Strange. Did you deal with this person?
Yes.
Well, it seems like you may well have vanquished one of the dreamers in a way that should have been done. Well done. That is impressive. Mixing the arcane arts like that is definitely pushing into territory where our type should not.
As you say. Do you have any interest in perhaps an exchange of what we know?
I think you'll have to make some sort of a persuasion check and see how you're gonna go on that.
That's fine. I'm bad at this.
I know.
Let's go. Can
go on. Yeah, if you can make an argument for something, it's all acceptable to try.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking diplomacy, but we're also talking the arcane. Can I use Arcana for this instead?
Ooh.
I'm very good at Arcana.
You are very, very good on that one. So I suppose the way you would argue it is that you would be trying to entice her in with words of some of the ideas of some of the spell power you've picked up over time to try and see if that breeds some interest.
Yes.
I could kind of see an argument there.
So something along the lines of.
Yeah, legend lore via Arcana, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
it's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah. So she would say, I have happened upon ways to ingratiate our kind to those who do not wield the arcane. If you know an archer, I can help make them more efficient. Those who rely on fists and their body rather than weapons, I can make them better. On top of the more mundane, help carry what is heavy, and of course, destroy. Something that you might find interesting, though. I happened upon a spell that would make interactions with other wizards outside of the Drifthall much more interesting. Bits of skin can take a while to carve away if you are trying to be careful. So I know of a spell. Yes, but I know of a spell that would make it take mere moments.
Okay, I think you can roll that Arcana and see how it goes.
All right. And you know what spell I'm talking about, James?
No, it's interesting. Certainly
the one you really like. Yeah.
The one I really like. Yeah. The creepier, the better. Oh, okay. Yeah, 29. Yeah, Cece, you think you've definitely piqued her interest, and I think as the way this will play out, I'll get you a little list of what we can work through, but there'll be going to be some interesting conversations about swapping certain spells over time as a few hours will play out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think we'll cover all of that. But yeah, as it sort of pans away from that conversation, we sort of like see the whole of the Drifthall. I'll just give you a quick hint of time will pass ready for the next event, as the next morning when anything comes together, when the Drifthall will be gathering, and next time we'll be in the eye of the Drifthall on the center island, and yes, the clans will be all there in force, and we will understand how all the events of the last few hours will have played out, and as we will cover the Drifthall next time. So yes, I think we will leave it there, and we will do our shopping and reconvene for next time. So I'll end the stream there.